Hello friends, in this video let's talk about one of the important concept in Python, that is nothing but method overriding in object oriented programming. This is really important for all the Python developers. In the previous videos we talked about inheritance in Python. We talked about the introduction of object oriented programming and what is a class, what is object. In the previous video we talked about modules also. So these are the videos which gives you bit clarity on what is object oriented programming and what is inheritance, what is a class, what is object. Here we focus more on overriding only. What is method overriding in Python? So not only this, if you have any questions in Python, please drop your question in the comment section. I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Also follow me on Facebook for more technical updates. Now, so let's come to the concept. See here, I have a class. Let's take this is a very big class. Let's say very big application. Okay, so hope you know that this is a class. Okay, so this is a second class, assume it. Now I'm going to name it as a, so this is a base class, this is a derived class. So I talked about in the inheritance, so I'm going to inherit this base class in the derived class or child class. That is nothing but inheritance actually. So now what is overriding? What is method overriding? See, method overriding is a part of inheritance only again. You need to know what is inheritance and how to implement inheritance before talk about method overriding. I already clearly explained in the inheritance video. Let's go through that. Now, so to explain method overriding, I need two classes. That is a one base class. The other one is one child or derived class. I can call it as, sometimes I call it as child class, sometimes I call it as derived class. Both are the same. And here sometimes I call it as a base class or sometimes I call it as a parent class. Both are same again. Now to explain method overriding, I need two classes. One is a base class, the other one is a derived class. Now the base class contains a method with a name of add. Okay. Now let us say derived class contains a method of subtraction, that is add subtraction. Okay, assume it base class contains only one method, child class contains only one method sub. So in this scenario, can we call this scenario as a method overriding? No, this cannot be called as a method overriding. So when I say method overriding, both the classes, both the base class or parent class and child class or derived class should have the same method. Now that time what I have to do is, in the child class also I should have add method with the same arguments. We'll talk about what is arguments. If the base class and derived class have the same method with the same arguments, then we can call that scenario as a method overriding. Now what happens if I create an object for the derived class? So what will execute when I call add method? Whatever the functionality you specified in the add method, this will execute this. Even though you have inheritance, this functionality does not execute because this is overridden by this. Because that is overridden by the child method add. See, the name of the method, the number of arguments with the types should be the same. Then only we can call it as a method overriding. If the arguments are different, we will talk about different case again that. This is about a theoretically. Let me show you practically how to implement this. So I am going to repeat. Same method should exist in both base and derived classes with the same name, with the same arguments. Then that scenario can be called as a method overriding. Now when you call child class method, the functionality which is defined in the child class method, that will execute even though you have inheritance, this won't execute. So when you create an object for base class, if you call this method, obviously yes, this will be executed. This won't execute this time. But if you create an object, for this child class, this functionality will execute it even though you have inheritance between. So let me clearly show you how to implement by using Python IDLE. Let's quickly open Python IDLE. Yeah, so let's go to the new file, new module. New file or module is the same in my case. Sorry, new file is already there. Yeah, save this. So let me save this with the name of what I say, override. Override. I'm making as override. Let's keep it. Now let's create a class. Base class. I'm just making as base class or parent class or derived class, whatever the name you want. Base class. So def. Hope you know that what is def. Def is a keyword which we use to create a methods in Python. Now let's take it as a add, which I self make it. I don't want to pass any arguments. Print. So this is from base class add method. It's up to me whatever the message I want. If you don't want this message, you can do it whatever you want. Let me make it as a print, some empty line. Okay, so now let's take it, or let's put some stars. Sorry, not 8. Let's put some stars. Okay, yeah, I'm just differentiate it. I'm just taking that class, take it as a child or derived class, whatever I want. Base means when I use a base, I'll take it as a derived keyword. Base and derived is a similar relative words. Derived class. So I'm just keeping independent classes now. Add self. Okay, print. This is every time it's coming away. This is from derived class add. I'm not adding method, just to differentiate it. Okay, print. This time let's add some different symbol at the rate. Okay, now so let's create an object for derived class and see. Obviously yes, d equal to object d equal to derived class, and let me make it as d dot add. Sorry, it's case sensitive. Let's try to use the same casing. Okay, so there is no inheritance has been implemented in between these two. As of now, both are different classes, but both they have same method with the name of add. Okay, now let's run this. Obviously yes, there is no much difference. You won't feel that because inheritance is not implemented as of now. I'll implement it once I execute this. Let me just to keep it separate so that explanation will be easy for me. Okay, yeah. Now let's run this. Do you see here? You got the message. This is from derived class add and all at the rate symbols here. Do you see that? Now the same way, let's create object for base class. B equal to base class. Okay, b dot add. Okay, so now let's run both. Now you'll get both the messages here. F5. See, you got it add. This is from derived class. This is from base class. Okay, so now let's put implement. Let's put inheritance. Let's inherit this base class in the derived class. Now if you see, inheritance has been implemented in this example now. Now see, let's remove this. Let me close this to see the again. Let's run this. Now if you run this output, yeah, see, I just created a object for the derived class and I access the add method. If I access add method, see, both the derived class and base class contains same method with the same arguments. So even though same method, same argument, so let me remove this and execute it to understand in a better way. Okay, let me close again to get only one output. I want to show you that. Yeah, if you see here now, so if you see here, now both the class contains the same method, but I got only this output. If you see this is output only. Even though my compiler is confident to show only the child class method properties only, it means that the base method has been overridden by the child method. That is nothing but a overridden by the child method. So this is called as a inheritance property. This is called as a method overriding in Python. So that's all about it. If you have any questions, please drop your question in the comment section. I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Also follow me on Facebook for more technical updates. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more technical videos. Thank you.